Imagine a universe teeming with life, where civilizations far more advanced than ours exist among the stars. Now, picture this, a sudden, catastrophic war that wipes out an entire alien species, leaving humanity as the sole survivors. How did we, a relatively young and fragile species, manage to defeat an alien race with technology far beyond our own? What led to this interstellar conflict, and what were the consequences of such a monumental victory? These are the questions we're diving into today. Welcome to a story of survival, innovation, and the ultimate battle for dominance in the cosmos. The story begins in the not-so-distant future, around the year 2147. Humanity had just begun to explore the outer reaches of our solar system, establishing colonies on Mars and mining asteroids for precious resources. It was a time of optimism and progress, but that all changed when we made first contact. A massive alien fleet appeared on the edge of our solar system, their ships bristling with weapons and technology we could barely comprehend. At first, they seemed peaceful, even offering to share their knowledge. But it wasn't long before their true intentions became clear. They weren't here to help us, they were here to conquer. The aliens, whom we later called the Xenoth, were a highly advanced species with a history of subjugating other civilizations. Their technology was centuries ahead of ours, and their weapons could obliterate entire cities in seconds. Earth's governments tried to negotiate, but the Xenoth were relentless. They demanded total surrender, and when we refused, they launched a full-scale invasion. Cities were reduced to rubble, millions perished, and humanity was pushed to the brink of extinction. It seemed like the end was inevitable. But then, something extraordinary happened. In the darkest hour, humanity united like never before. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders from every nation came together to form the Global Defense Initiative, GDI. Their mission was clear: develop weapons powerful enough to fight back against the Xenoth. The GDI poured all of Earth's resources into this effort, and what they created was nothing short of revolutionary. Using reverse-engineered alien technology, they developed a new class of weapons known as quantum disruptors. These weapons harnessed the power of quantum entanglement, allowing them to bypass the Xenoth's advanced shields and strike directly at their ships. But the quantum disruptors were just the beginning. The GDI also developed a fleet of advanced spacecraft, equipped with cloaking devices and plasma cannons. They even created a network of orbital defense platforms, capable of launching coordinated attacks on the Xenoth fleet. For the first time, humanity had a fighting chance. The war was far from over, but the tide was beginning to turn. Battles raged across the solar system, from the icy plains of Europa to the asteroid belt. Each victory was hard-fought, and each defeat was devastating. But humanity refused to give up. As the war dragged on, the GDI made a shocking discovery. The Xenoth weren't just conquerors, they were fleeing from something even more terrifying. Deep in the unexplored regions of the galaxy, there was a force so powerful that even the Xenoth feared it. This revelation changed everything. Suddenly, the war wasn't just about survival, it was about preventing an even greater catastrophe. The GDI realized that if they could defeat the Xenoth, they might be able to use their technology to prepare for the coming threat. But first, they had to win the war. The final battle took place in orbit around Jupiter. The Xenoth had amassed their entire fleet, determined to crush humanity once and for all. The GDI, armed with their new weapons and fueled by desperation, launched a daring counterattack. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But in the end, humanity emerged victorious. The Xenoth fleet was destroyed, and their home world was left in ruins. The war was over, but the cost was staggering. Billions had died, and Earth was left scarred and broken. Yet, amidst the devastation, there was hope. Humanity had proven that even against impossible odds, we could prevail. With the Xenoth defeated, humanity stood at a crossroads. The war had left Earth in ruins, but it had also unlocked unprecedented technological advancements. The Global Defense Initiative, GDI, now faced a new challenge: how to rebuild civilization while safeguarding the knowledge and power they had gained. The Xenoth's technology was a double-edged sword. It offered the potential for incredible progress, but it also came with risks. The GDI established the Xenoth Research Division, XRD, a global coalition of scientists tasked with studying and reverse engineering the alien technology. Their discoveries would shape the future of humanity, but not without controversy. One of the most groundbreaking findings was the Xenoth's mastery of energy manipulation. Their ships were powered by zero-point energy, a virtually limitless source of power derived from the fabric of space itself. This technology revolutionized energy production on Earth, ending reliance on fossil fuels and ushering in a new era of sustainability. Cities were rebuilt with zero-point energy grids, and interstellar travel became a reality. However, the XRD also uncovered darker aspects of Xenoth technology. Their weapons were powered by a process called quantum annihilation, which could obliterate matter at the subatomic level. While this technology gave humanity an edge in defense, it also raised ethical questions about its use. The XRD's research also revealed the existence of the Xenoth's home world, located in a distant star system. Scans of the planet showed it was once a thriving civilization, but it had been reduced to a barren wasteland. The GDI sent a reconnaissance mission to investigate, and what they found was chilling. The planet was littered with the remnants of a society that had been consumed by war. Massive craters, shattered cities, and the skeletal remains of Xenoth structures told a story of a civilization that had turned its own weapons against itself. It was a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. But the most alarming discovery was yet to come. Buried deep beneath the surface of the Xenoth homeworld was a massive archive, containing records of their history and the reason for their conquest. The Xenoth had not always been aggressors. They were once a peaceful species, exploring the galaxy and seeking knowledge. But their exploration led them to encounter a mysterious entity known only as the Void Wraith. This entity was unlike anything they had ever seen, a being of pure energy, capable of consuming entire star systems. The Xenoth tried to fight it, but their weapons were useless. In desperation, they turned to conquest, hoping to amass enough power and technology to defeat the Void Wraith. But by the time they reached Earth, they were already a shadow of their former selves, driven by fear and desperation. The GDI realized that the Void Wraith was the true threat. The Xenoth had been fleeing from it, and now, with their defeat, humanity was next in line. The GDI shifted its focus from rebuilding to preparing for the inevitable confrontation. Using the Xenoth's technology, they began constructing a new fleet of ships, equipped with advanced weapons and shields. They also developed a planetary defense network, designed to detect and repel any incursion by the Void Wraith. But the question remained, would it be enough? As humanity prepared for the coming storm, divisions began to emerge. Some argued that the Void Wraith was a distant threat, and that resources should be focused on rebuilding Earth. Others believed that the only way to ensure survival was to take the fight to the Void Wraith, using the Xenoth's technology to launch a preemptive strike. The debate raged on, with no clear resolution in sight. Meanwhile, strange phenomena began to occur across the galaxy, stars disappearing, planets going dark, and unexplained energy signatures detected in deep space. The Void Wraith was coming, and humanity was running out of time. The first signs of the Void Wraith's arrival were subtle distortions in the fabric of space, unexplained gravitational anomalies, and faint energy signatures detected by deep space observatories. But as the days turned into weeks, the signs grew more ominous. Entire star systems began to vanish, swallowed by an inky blackness that defied all known laws of physics. The Global Defense Initiative, GDI, knew that the Void Wraith was approaching, and they had to act fast. The question was no longer if the Void Wraith would reach Earth, but when. Humanity's survival depended on a plan so audacious, so risky, that it bordered on madness. The GDI's strategy was twofold. First, they would fortify Earth and its colonies with every weapon and shield system they had developed using Xenoth technology. Orbital defense platforms, quantum disruptors, and zero-point energy shields were deployed in a massive defensive network. Second, and most controversially, they would launch a preemptive strike against the Void Wraith. A fleet of advanced warships, codenamed Project Aegis, was assembled. These ships were equipped with experimental weapons, including a device called the Quantum Singularity Cannon, capable of creating artificial black holes. The goal was to confront the Void Wraith before it reached Earth, buying humanity more time to prepare or, if possible, to destroy it outright. The Aegis fleet launched in 2163, carrying the hopes of billions. The journey to the edge of the galaxy was fraught with danger, as the fleet encountered remnants of the Xenoth's failed attempts to fight the Void Wraith. Derelict ships, shattered planets, and eerie energy storms served as grim reminders of what was at stake. When the fleet finally reached the Void Wraith's last known location, they were met with a sight that defied comprehension. The Void Wraith was not a fleet or a physical entity, it was a massive, swirling vortex of darkness, consuming everything in its path. Stars, planets, even light itself, were drawn into its endless maw. The battle that followed was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. The Aegis fleet unleashed everything they had: quantum disruptors, plasma cannons, and the experimental singularity cannon. But the Void Wraith seemed almost immune to their attacks. Its form shifted and flowed, absorbing energy and matter with terrifying ease. Ships that got too close were pulled into the vortex, vanishing without a trace. The fleet's commanders realized that conventional weapons were useless. They needed a new strategy, and fast. It was then that Dr. Elena Vasquez, the lead scientist of the XRD, proposed a radical idea. The Void Wraith was not just a physical entity, it was a manifestation of entropy, a force of destruction that fed on the energy of the universe itself. To defeat it, they would need to disrupt its connection to the fabric of reality. Using the Xenotha's archives, Dr. Vasquez and her team developed a device called the Reality Anchor, designed to stabilize the local space-time continuum and sever the Void Wraith's link to our dimension. The catch? The device would require an immense amount of energy to activate, far more than any ship could generate. The only solution was to use the Aegis fleet itself as a power source, sacrificing the ships and their crews to fuel the device. The decision was agonizing, but there was no other choice. The fleet's commanders gave the order, and the Aegis ships moved into position around the Void Wraith. One by one, they activated their self-destruct sequences, channeling their energy into the Reality Anchor. The resulting explosion was unlike anything ever seen, a blinding flash of light that rippled across the galaxy, momentarily halting the Void Wraith's advance. When the light faded, the vortex was gone. The Void Wraith had been defeated, but at a terrible cost. The Aegis fleet was lost, along with thousands of brave men and women who had given their lives to save humanity. Back on Earth, the victory was bittersweet. The threat of the Void Wraith was gone, but the scars of the war remained. Humanity had survived, but at a great cost. The GDI disbanded, its mission complete, and the world began the long process of rebuilding. The Xenotha's technology, once a source of hope and fear, was carefully regulated to prevent its misuse. The lessons of the war were not forgotten. Humanity had learned the dangers of unchecked power, the importance of unity, and the resilience of the human spirit. As we look to the stars today, we are reminded of the sacrifices made to ensure our survival. The story of humanity's battle against the Xenoth and the Void Wraith is a testament to our ability to overcome even the greatest challenges. But it also raises a question: are we truly alone in the universe, or are there other threats lurking in the darkness? The answer, perhaps, lies in the stars. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of exploration, discovery, and the indomitable human spirit. Until next time, stay curious.